Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Matt and welcome back to Crypto Kings. In today's video, we're going to be talking about what Shiba Inu is doing. It's been going through a lot of volatile price action recently and I wanted to cover it all for you guys. So if you guys are new, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more daily SHIB vids, and let's get right into it. So if you guys have not already seen, essentially this extremely volatile period of time here over on CoinMarketCap for just about every single cryptocurrency in the world, I advise you guys take a look at this because really, man, this is extremely volatile. This is one of the worst crashes we've seen in recent time. And of course, when we look at Bitcoin, you guys can really see on the day how we managed to hit this just catastrophic low at $45,000, which, when you look back at the previous month, we were really, at a certain point gearing up to stay in the high 60s. It's just crazy to me that we ended up dipping down to 45. That is crazy. But really, man, it doesn't matter all that much because like with every one of these flash crashes, there are a few things that lead to these coins coming back pretty quickly. And the number one thing that happens every time is this. This volume here is up around 70% here on the day at $4 billion, which again is extremely high compared to some of the previous days for SHIB. And what makes that amazing is the fact that every time that happens, we see an extreme surge in sell volume at a particular point, which, of course, you guys can see right here on the line. I mean, this is just absolutely huge. This one spot here, I mean, this is just compared to every other increment is a ginormous period of sell volume. So why is this a problem? Well, what happens is whenever you see a flash crash like this, it typically will default to a period of buy volume because people say, oh my goodness, this has hit a bottom. This has hit the lowest it is going to be during this period of time. And the best way to do this is to look at the relative strength index. So you guys can see during this time period, it goes way below what the relative strength index considers to be normal, sending us all the way down to around 20. Now, normally, if, let's say, SHIB did something really bad, or there was some horrible announcement, or, oh my goodness, SHIB is a rug, let's say something horrible like that happened. In that instance, the relative strength index wouldn't be all that important because people would just be jumping ship and not returning. But what happened in this instance is just general, like, market fear. People started selling off, the stock market started selling off. So every market in the world pretty much just started selling off. So that essentially shows that people are willing to get back into this. There's nothing inherently wrong with SHIB that led to this crash. You guys see what I'm saying? If something was really wrong with the coin itself, there would be all the reason to completely ignore what the relative strength index here was showing. But because that is not the case, because it is surely a result of just, fear, uncertainty, whatever you want to call it, that has led to Bitcoin and everything else moving down. Because of that, this is much more important because what the relative strength index is showing now is that, fundamentally we were way oversold here, and that could very well lead to a volatile spring back up. And this is exactly what I predicted last night. So I said, it's very possible that after being way below what the relative strength index considers to be normal, we could spring back up to right around 50 on the relative strength index. And it turns out I was 100% accurate here with that because it is right around 50 again, and it could very well, just keep moving around 50 here. And that definitely does give us the opportunity, like I said yesterday, to get us, to 37, 38, 39 without having a lot of issues and being able to hold those prices, without running into a lot of problems. Because Shiba Inu, just like every other coin, is essentially running on the same sort of pace. We have our complete low here, our complete bottom right at this timestamp. Bitcoin has the exact same thing. You guys can see we have our complete bottom right at this timestamp. I can pick Ethereum, and we'll see the same thing, a complete bottom right here at this timestamp. So it happens with essentially every coin in the world. And with SHIB, it is very clear that we have essentially hit our all-time low, hit a similar low, something very much near the bottom, but then we have a recovery. It looks as if enough people were able to buy the dip and keep us headed back all the way to around 40. Now, I wanted to show you guys someone else's prediction that I thought was extremely good, but before I do, make sure to check out Webull, guys. Top of the link down below in the description. If you guys want to start trading stocks, cryptocurrency, all that good stuff, you guys can do that. And of course, if you guys get started, you guys get some free stocks by signing up with my link. I always do appreciate it, guys. So check it out. Top link down below in the description. All right, so this is a prediction I saw actually here on TradingView, and I think it's honestly a really good one. So you guys can see he is essentially saying there is a good deal of bull volume here, a good deal of bull candles going on here, and if SHIB can make another pump like what the chart is showing, it could hit the 61 fib support and then the 40 support. And we could see what goes on from here. So yeah, I mean, I essentially really agree. So what he is showing is that this little box here is kind of a breaking point, which, I definitely could agree with, because he made this post right as essentially, we were falling down. I don't think this guy made this post at the time of, the complete crash, because you guys can see here, he's at 42 right at the time of, this absolutely, cataclysmic crash here. Yeah, it goes from like 42 all the way down to, 29. So he hadn't exactly seen all the recent activity yet, but I still think his prediction has a little bit of validity here, because this fib here, this 61 fib, would be very good to bounce off of, and that would, of course, be right around the 42 line. So when we pull up the Fibonacci retracement, of course, for ourselves, which I am on the wrong tab, of course, but we pull up the Fibonacci retracement for ourselves, you guys can see, this is going to essentially map it all out. And at the time, it was the 61.8% fib on the way down for him. But for us right now, the spot is very similar. It is the 78.6% line here on the way up. But I really do agree, because really, I think the major, player for support right now is going to be reaching the top of the fib here, right around 40 or 41. And, mathematically, 41 is the spot. I'm sure most people cognitively would think 40 would just be the spot. 40 would be, where everybody wants to bounce off of on a psychological level. It's 40, new decimal, boom. So I think 40 is definitely probably more of a spot as well. So again, somewhere around here, having the ability to bounce off of this and to continue to work our way, up in the future would be excellent. But when we check the rest of the fib levels here on our prediction, you guys can see essentially the 23.6% line has been applied like clockwork. It's actually amazing how accurate the Fibonacci retracement has been here, because we have our bottom here at 29.60, and then we have the 23.6% line here, meaning that from the top all the way from here at 44 all the way down to here at around 29, we have essentially gained back, we have recouped 23.6% of those losses. So that is what you guys are reading here. If you don't understand what you're looking at, 23.6% of those losses have been regained, have been reacquired. So we can see with the future candles that is exactly the case. So Fibonacci retracement being extremely helpful here, and it looks as if now we are bouncing over the 50% line here, and hopefully can use this, to work our way back to the 61.8 and then the 78.6, and keep working our way up and kind of following the market as we go. Again, it really will, I think, depend on what Bitcoin and Ethereum, want to do in these circumstances. But regardless, I still think we are in for some very good movement in the future. I think we've seen our bottom. I think all of the blood has already been spilled. And if you guys bought the dip, or, want to still buy the dip, because it is pretty low still, I definitely think now might be a good time. Not a financial advisor, my personal opinion, but I definitely did buy the dip. So with that being said, everybody, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more daily SHIB vids. That being said, everybody, my name is Matt. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.